$987 and 51 cents in just 10 hours on a new Shopify store. Let me tell you exactly how I did this, how I found the product, how I got the sales, and why this sales chart, both today and if you go to yesterday, stopped exactly 10 hours into the day. Let's talk about it. Again. Hey, what's going on everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, my goal is very simple. I want to outline something that might not be the biggest sales screenshot. It might not be the sexiest video on YouTube when relating to numbers. I know some people like it when I say, look, $800,000 in a month, but I also want to show the little fish, not just the big fish, because this right here is the beginning stages of something that will grow fairly large very quickly, okay? So we're going to talk about that now. Before I do, I have to let you guys know, because we did this on Instagram, we opened up 5 spots in the 30-day e-commerce academy at $400 off. So if anyone's looking to learn how to find a product, build a website, even if you're not a website developer, and run Facebook ads, whether you're starting from scratch or looking to scale aggressively, go ahead, click the top link in the description. There's an automatically applied coupon code for $400 off for the first 5 people. So instead of paying $1,000, you're going to pay about $600. So just make sure to click that link, watch the video, check it out, and then make sure to tune back into this video because I have a lot of different things. I actually have a list that we're going to go through, okay? The first point that I want to talk about inside of here is why another new store, okay? This is actually something I get all the time, and funny enough, it is something I used to ask other people back in the day. So there was 2 specific people I was learning from about 4 years ago. They weren't wildly successful with Shopify, but they were doing very well, and back then when I had no money and wasn't doing any sales, it was fairly impressive. So I was always asking them, why are you starting new stores? Why are you doing this? So I want to kind of explain my angle. And the reason is diversification, time, and the scalability, okay? I love to diversify, not just multiple stores, but into multiple industries. Have some things that are just stores, some that are brands, some where we hold inventory, have multiple different channels of, things kind of inside the same business where I get to use my skill more because I like doing it, and it's something where I can diversify out. Not just having more income streams, but also kind of tapping into completely different markets. It just makes me feel a little bit more secure, and it's way more fun because I get to see new cool products. I get to learn a lot more about certain industries and kind of how they work, who the competitors are, which leads to me learning a lot more about business overall because I get to study more people, okay? So the other point of that is, the reason that I'm always starting these new things as well is the time. And this is probably the biggest thing. This is a huge question I get asked about all the time. How much time does it really take to run an e-commerce store? Well, the answer might shock you. It could be 12 minutes in a day. It could be 7 hours. For an example, today it is 6:33 p.m. I woke up at about noon because I went to bed at 7 a.m. Why? Because from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., which is about 8 hours if my math is correct, I was strictly running Facebook ads for 2 stores. Okay? It took me 8 hours, about 4.5 hours on one and a little bit under 4 on the other. Basically split. So what I was doing there is doing something called aggressive scaling. This is something we show inside of the e-commerce academy where we're going through, I show you exactly how to double a store, triple a store, whether you're at $100 a day, $500 a day, or $10,000 a day. So I was actually scaling one store from about $3,000 a day to 6. Right now it's at like $4,500 on the day. And then the other store it's at about $1,000 a day. So I'm constantly scaling things. But here's the thing. I'm not scaling every single store every single day, especially when it's something that's new, okay? Even the existing ones, it's not something where you can just scale every single day. I love to let things optimize, let them play out for 3 or 4 days, then go back, kill some of those, let them continue sitting, launch more tests, and usually once every 2-3 weeks, I'll go aggressive and I'll like double it again, then you chop it back and keep moving up. So it's kind of up and then down a little bit, up. Yeah, I don't know, that's a visual that I kind of think about. But this is something where, well, what happens when I go spend 4 hours on this store, right? These 2 stores, let's say I was only running those 2, okay? If I was only running those 2 stores, well, it would take all that time this one day, today, I can't do anything. I have to let them keep running. Maybe the day after tomorrow, so nothing for 2 days. I have 30 minutes of work, and then it's literally no time. So that's why I launch more things. And yes, you could work on the social media, you could work on the branding, you could work on custom content, and we do all those things, but I have employees that do that. So for me, I just manage the marketing. So that's why I'm able to launch so many new things. And I even have people whose literally full-time job is to test new products, launch new things. And once I start getting the first couple sales, I just jump in once it kind of seems like it has a good reaction, and then I run the ads, okay? So we're gonna talk about a lot of different things with this store. The first question on my list, again, we're gonna talk about the margin. Don't worry about that. I wanna talk about my plan with it, the different streams of marketing I'm gonna do. But the first one, which we already covered, why another new store? So I hope that clarifies that question. If it does, drop a like down below. It's something that I feel like a lot of people just don't talk about. So that's why multiple. I love to have multiple things, and I have the free time to do it. And at the end of the day, it's more income. It's more assets. I can sell certain ones down the road if I want to build it into a brand and I want to sell it because I don't have the time or I want to put the time elsewhere. It's completely up to you, okay? Now, the next one, how I found the product. This is kind of a funny one because this product has been sold for years. I actually tested it about 6 months ago and it didn't work at all. It literally zero sales, okay? Yet I've consistently seen this being marketed, usually through Snapchat influencers. That's something where I've kind of seen it pop up before, and I saw it multiple times from the same company, so I knew it was working. At the time, I was just a little bit busy, didn't really care, and I had other stores I was starting that were working more, so I kind of shifted my attention on those and not this, okay? So I came back to the product, built around a whole new store for it. You had everything set up. I do not have custom content yet. This is basically brand new. The products are on their way being sent so that we can shoot that content, which is only going to help it scale even further. But I saw the product, I kept seeing it over and over again. I knew that someone was selling it successfully, so I wanted to try it again. It's something that I knew was pretty broad. It has the potential to go viral, so that's why, and I guess we'll talk about this a little bit early in the video, is I do want to branch out to other marketing streams. This product has huge potential for influencers, and I don't say that about every product. Not every product is what I call like an Instagram influencer product or something that could work with YouTube influencers. It's really situational for the product and how it's used, okay? So that's something where you just gotta kind of play it out and then play it by ear per product and see what exactly is going to work. So that's how I saw the product. Now, what am I doing for the marketing? It's really simple. I'm just running Facebook ads. Now, the reason, and I'm gonna keep it like that, the reason that you see it completely stopped, right now we're like, towards the end of the day, you see no sales. Well, what happened there? If we go to yesterday, same exact thing. Okay, no sales after about halfway through the day. Well, funny enough, this is a new Facebook ad account. And for those of you who are new to Facebook marketing, one issue you're gonna run into, it's usually not too big of a problem, but it's definitely annoying, is what's called a Facebook ad account spending limit, okay? And when you're running all these things and eventually you have full ad accounts and you have to use new ones, and again, I do like to diversify into different accounts to make sure if anything happens, we're good on the others, but there's a spending limit of $350 on this store. So for an example, today, as I started running more ads and I'm kind of ramping things up, you might notice that it did about $980 in sales. The exact, to the penny, the exact amount spent is $350. Not $351, not $349, exactly $350. So you have to wait a few days. You request it from Facebook. Sometimes they deny your request to raise the limit. It just happens. You got to keep spending that max limit. Eventually they'll increase it. But it is annoying because this store should easily be at like $2,500 a day, just based on where these audiences are. The front end sales, you see it's kind of ramping up throughout the day. The front end, it kind of starts slow. So I believe most of these sales would be coming in about after like 4 to 5 p.m. So this is definitely something where I can already tell it's going to pop. It's a store that's going to do really well. I just focused, and this is for any of you guys starting a store, maybe you have a store that's not working, focus your efforts just purely on building data. Okay? If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't just mean it's the product. Remember, I tested this many, many months ago and it didn't work at all. That could be your Facebook pixel just not reacting. It could mean something with the ad account. Again, Facebook can really choose who they want to make sales. It could be your content. It could be something like that. Maybe you're getting a bunch of negative comments in the beginning. You got to look at all these things. There's about a dozen different things that could play a role. So I figured I'd try it again, and lo and behold, it started working. Okay? So As you guys can kind of tell based on the ad spend to the sale ratio, about $1,000 with 350 spent, the margin is fairly simple. Right now it's about 35%, which I think is really, really good. We haven't lowered the product cost because we're not getting enough sales. It's really brand new. Eventually that will be higher, but I think this store that's doing really, really well. I mean, there's some days where we'd spent like $50 and made like 600 back, like really, really good 7 and 8 ROAS. Right now there's just a lot of new ads testing, so I don't believe it to be a 35% margin store. I believe it to be like 50 or 60 based on the ones that are actually producing the sales. So that's just the whole point of sacrificing your margin so that you can scale, because that is something you're going to have to do if you want to launch a bunch of new ads to find new ones that work. Not all those are going to work. So those are kind of eating away your margin in the meantime before you let them run and turn them off. Okay. So it's really simple. I mean, it's great to have something like this that I was able to start like, I think a week and a half ago that, I mean, today has done about $350 in profit, which is really cool. I mean, after the ad spend, after the product cost, I mean, that one's on track. Even if it's a little lower than that, it's on track for an easy extra $8,000 or $9,000 a month. That's obviously before I scale it or before the Facebook spending limit gets increased. But I mean, that right there is an extra $100,000 a year, which you can never discredit that. So even something like this where you hit that one product and it might not be your first product that's going to work, but you keep testing, you stick with it, you make sure you're having the right product research strategy, you've built a store the right way, you've set everything up correctly. And the biggest thing, because this is where you're spending money, this is where I'm spending $350 a day, right? I mentioned I'd be making, right now I'm making $350 a day, but what if it wasn't working? I'd be spending about $9,000 a month. Okay, a little more. That's spending $100,000 a year. You want to make sure things are working. So before you go and spend a bunch of money on Facebook, make sure you learn, you spend time to learn and invest in yourself before you go ahead and just blow money on the advertising, because it is difficult if you have no sense of direction. Okay, so that's the margin on this store. And again, the future plan for it, I mean, hopefully Facebook lets it increase really soon and hopefully they raise it up. Realistically, they're probably going to raise it to about $1,000 a day. After that, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. That's kind of how they move. Usually takes 2 to 3 days for the request to be granted. I put in that request yesterday. So we'll really see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated with it. I mean, this is just one of many new stores. I know I'm going to get this question a lot, so I'm going to answer it below. Drop a like because I'm answering it. I don't really ever say because it doesn't matter. But how many stores am I running? Right now, I actually don't even know the exact number. It would be within about 5 stores of a dozen. So it might be 10, it might be 15, somewhere around that range. I'm definitely working on about a dozen stores, okay? Now, 3 of those are main ones that I've had for well over a year and a half, okay? Those are the brands I have, the things that I never share. Those are the ones I don't post screenshots of. Those are my actual brands that I could sell down the road, that I'm building for the long term, that have been just consistently sitting there in the background producing cash flow, okay? Everything else is new stuff that might be 6 months old, 7 months old, 2 months old, a week old, all these different things, that I like to set up. Especially during the holiday season, I believe it's a great time just because so many people are buying. You can still kind of use a reason for your discount by saying, save 50% for the holidays. You really kind of have a better angle if you're getting started. So there really is no better time than right now to start. Plus, might I add, all your expenses. Let's say you spend $100 on Facebook ads by the end of the year. Well, in reality, it's actually like you only spent about 60 to 70. Why? Because you can write off that $100 for marketing costs, okay? It is what's called a write-off. You could do it even if you don't technically have an LLC. Your CPA would probably let you do it, but it's a tax write-off. So on that 100, you would have normally had to spend about 30 to 40% of it in taxes. Well, now you're able to write that off. So in reality, you're only really spending what you would have had left after taxes. So you kind of think about it like that. The way that I kind of run my business, we really go hard with a lot of expenses at the end of the year, a lot of marketing, a lot of investing in a new product, branding deals. We pay a bunch of influencers in advance. If I need a new laptop, you best believe I'm buying a new laptop, buying a new phone. All these things are happening right at the end of the year. I'm actually paying someone that I'm going to learn a little bit from on a different business. It's more on the real estate side of things, but I'm flying out to where he and she, at the end of January, but I'm paying them for it now so that I can write that off for the end of this year. So anything like that is always something you want to be searching for. That's why I believe it is a perfect time to start everything. Again, if you guys want help with anything, feel free to browse around the channel. I think we have over 6, maybe 7 700 videos here. Maybe, I'd have to check. But there's a lot of different videos on this channel. A lot of them are related to e-commerce. Some of them are travel, some are real estate, this and that, kind of all over the place. But we definitely share a lot of stuff here. So if you like the channel, make sure to subscribe. Definitely be sure to stick around. And don't forget, the first 5 people, that coupon code is going to be automatically applied for you. So just click the link, read through some of the information, watch the video, you fill out your info, and then you're golden after you hit submit, okay? So go ahead, check out that reference link in the description. I'll leave it at the top of the description there. That's the 30-Day E-Commerce Academy. And we've had dozens of students who have produced millions of dollars in sales go through there. A lot of people doing 6 figures. And I don't say exact numbers like you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. It's different for every single person. Some people have a $350 a day spending limit. Others are 50, others have none. There's so many variables when it comes to Facebook, when it comes to marketing, even when it comes to running a business, okay? So all we can do is properly outline every single situation that we've been in, show you how we handled it, show you how we scale from there, and continue working on it, okay? So if you have any questions, make sure to leave it in the comments section down below, whether it's in regards to the 30-Day Academy or to this video topic. If you have questions about the new store or maybe a store you're working on, be sure to let me know what it is. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like if you want more e-commerce content into 2020. Yes, if you guys haven't seen the video titled I Quit about a week ago, I do plan on, by the way, fully shutting down everything we offer on the end of programs or anything paid at the end of March in 2020. It's just what it is. So if you guys haven't watched that video, go ahead, check it out. The Academy is not going to be available anymore. That's the only program we offer. That, and we offer building you a custom designed Shopify store with winning products already on it. Those are the only 2 things I sell because those are the 2 things I get asked the most. People are always like, how do you do what you do? And how do I build a website or find winning products? So we created a product that solves that problem. So if you have your problem, which could be, I don't have a successful e-commerce business, we have something that will solve that for you. I mean, it's really, that simple. A is B. So, you have a problem, you get the solution. So that's something where it's probably going to be closing down at the end of March. If you guys haven't watched that video, go ahead, check it out. You guys can just go back on the channel. It's something where, I just kind of talk about the changes that are going to be made. Yes, I'll still be here on YouTube, just not as frequently, because for me, my main focus are my e-commerce brands and all the new stores. Okay. And there's a lot of stuff that is taking a lot of my time now, different businesses, different investments. And that's just where I need to put 100% of my focus. It's not just about time, it's also about focus, okay? So I'm done rambling in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.